Hello there, fellas and ladies. Welcome back to Goodfellas Garage, and welcome back to another episode of Do Not Buy Cars Sight Unseen. Now, fellas, you might be wondering, why am I making a video about a Chevy Suburban? Who cares? It's just a regular truck. Well, not this one. This particular one is the Chevy Suburban 2500HD commercial. This is the heavy-duty version of your regular 1500 Suburban. And at first glance, if you don't know what you're looking at, you might think this is just a regular Suburban with, you know, the base model with the steel wheels, etc. But it's not. There are very subtle differences between the 2500 and the 1500, but this is a much heavier duty truck than your 1500. The 2500 is the favorite of Secret Service and FBI and law enforcement in general because it can do so much more than your regular 1500 Suburban. This particular truck has a thicker frame, upgraded suspension, 6-liter V8 engine. It has steel wheels so you can jump the curbs, and if you pay close attention, it has 8 lug nuts versus 6 in the 1500 Suburban. The reason for that is this truck can tow a lot more than the 1500 can. This is the same towing capacity, a little bit less than your 2500 HD Silverado. Now, if you've been living under the rock for the past, I don't know, almost 100 years, the Suburban name is the longest used nameplate in the automotive history. They have been around since 1934, and back in the 30s, they were just large station wagons, and then they evolved into SUVs and off-road vehicles as the demand has increased. Now, being in 2009, this is the 10th generation of Suburbans. The 10th generation was from 2007 to 2014. In 2015, General Motors did a redesign, both exterior and interior. So the Suburbans are now on the 11th generation, with the 12th generation planned to be out in 2021. Now, as you can see, I'm using this truck for its intended purposes. I'm hauling stuff in it, and furniture and chairs and whatnot. So this is all furniture for our new warehouse, and update on that is coming shortly. But I purchased this truck a week before I bought the $800 Third Jaguar. And this is the same issue as with the Jag. There was a lot of little problems with this truck that were not disclosed by the seller. Now, this is not a turd. I love this truck. The issues were minor, but it still leaves a bitter taste in your mouth when you're relying on a condition report that the auction has, and the condition report is nothing what the actual truck is. Now, the condition report is prepared by Mannheim, the auction company, to give you an independent look as to what the condition of the car and truck is, separate that of the disclosure from the seller. Now, as I have come to find out, the condition report is very inaccurate, and it's basically just a couple of pictures around the truck and some guy going with a clipboard and putting check marks here and there. But the reality is that they don't really disclose any of the actual issues that the seller needs to disclose and the buyer needs to know before they make an informed decision whether to purchase the truck or not. So what are some of the things that they failed to disclose? Well, number one, and the most obvious, is the fact that the air conditioner was not working. And this is the first thing that you notice as you get into the truck. The front blower motor was inoperative, and they never disclosed that. So we changed the blower motor, and we discovered that the AC compressor belt was the wrong one. So we changed that. Then we discovered that the AC belt tensioner was broken, so we changed that, and now the air conditioning is working fine. Then they failed to disclose their airbag light, and I'll show you pictures from the auction. You can almost see that they're deliberately trying to hide the airbag light behind the steering wheel and the angles of the pictures that they're taking, because they disclosed that the tire pressure light is on, but not the airbag light. The other thing is that they said that the dash is cracked, and they're showing you a picture of a little crack by the passenger side. However, they failed to show a huge crack that goes the entire length of the dash, right in front as you walk into the truck. So, I mean, these kind of things are, it's very strange, because it's supposed to be an independent inspection, and there's a bunch of other little things here and there, but all that stuff really adds up. 100 here, 50 there, 20 here, and then next thing you know, you spend a couple of grand. And it just shows you how unreliable these independent inspections are, and you can't really rely on that. And the moral of this story is that, again, do not buy cars and trucks sight unseen, or if you're gonna do that, buy from a reputable seller. So the 2500 Suburbans came in two versions, the LS, which this one is, and the LT, which is a slightly higher option model. You could order the LT with the alloy wheels, leather seats, wood grain dash trim, and some other options. This being the government vehicle, it is the LS trim. It's still 4-wheel drive, but it has the much rarer cloth seats, which I personally like a lot more than leather, especially in the hot Florida summers. Now, I might be a bit biased because I'm a truck guy and I love trucks, but this Suburban rides like a dream. If somebody blindfolded you, put you inside of this truck and took you for a ride, you would not believe that you're inside of a truck. Despite the fact that it has a leaf spring suspension, it rides like a Lincoln Town Car. The ride is smooth, it's floaty, it's very comfortable. The seats are actually very nice and cushy, despite the fact that this is the base version with the cloth seats. And it's a really nice truck to drive around. I love the elephant ear mirrors because they're sticking out all the way out. You can see everything. The visibility is absolutely fantastic, and I just love the size of this truck. I feel like I'm driving a house on wheels, and I understand why people love SUVs, because you're sitting up high, you want to step on all the peasants and whatnot. So but just look behind me. If you look in the rearview mirror, there's just so much room. It looks like you're like inside of a concert hall. There's just, everybody's so far behind you. The truck can seat 9 people comfortably. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. This particular one is missing the third row seating. I imagine law enforcement took it out for whatever they were doing, hauling weapons and equipment and whatnot. I love these 2500 Suburbans. They're not very easy to find. There are not that many of them around. They actually discontinued the 2500 and the 11th generation 3500 models. They were really, really expensive. The 11th generation 2016 and 2017 3500 HD Suburbans were actually $30,000 on top of the base price of a Suburban. The base price of a 11th generation Suburban was $49,000, almost 50 grand. So it was extra $30,000 on top of that. So it's an $80,000 truck. The 10th generation were obviously a little bit cheaper, but still, this was not like it's a $5,000 package and a couple of things that they add on. This was a lot more money than your base 1500 Suburban. Well, fellas, I'm actually on my way to Goodfella Ivan. I have some stuff on the back of the Suburban, as you can see. This is the stuff for the warehouse. We're almost done painting it and cleaning it and getting it up to speed. So stay tuned for more videos on this awesome 2500 Suburban. We're gonna do a little bit of work to this truck. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please subscribe, like, share, so you can become friends of ours. Thanks. Bye.